Well, let us see some methods of preparation of ketones, how ketones are prepared. So first one is from this acyl chlorides. Acyl chloride. So acyl chlorides, how it is prepared, let us see there. So acyl chloride when react with the dialkyl cadmium, you will be getting a ketone there. To prepare dialkyl cadmium, take Grignard reagent or MgX compound. Grignard reagents when treated with the cadmium chloride forms dialkyl cadmium. This dialkyl cadmium when react with this acyl chloride, so cadmium and chlorine react and form cadmium chloride, separate out, and this R group is going to attach to this one, and ketones you are going to get it there. So another method is from this nitriles. Nitriles are nothing but cyanides. Okay, what happens there? So in between this we have the carbon and the nitrogen triple bond is there. So when treated with this Grignard reagent, see what happens there, undergoes electromeric effects, temporarily shifts its electron density towards electronegative nitrogen atom, and this develops slightly electronegative charge, and this develops slightly electropositive charge there. So in this RMgX part there, C6H5MgBr it is taken. So this part is slightly negative and this part is positive. The positive part is going to add to this one and negative part is going to add to carbon, so that you are going to get to the carbon C6H5 adds and to the nitrogen MgH is going to be added here then, so that RMgN MgBr is going to be formed like this. You know that when you carry out the Grignard reagent reaction, after treating with the Grignard reagent, next step is a hydrolysis only. On hydrolysis, cleavage takes place across this bond. So oxygen will add here and this hydrogen will add here, so that RC double bond O C6H5, a ketone is going to be obtained like this. So this is how from nitrile ketones are obtained. So that is second method. So third method is from benzene. So benzene when react with this aryl chloride or acyl chloride there. So take C6H5COCl, okay, benzyl chloride or CS3COCl, acetyl chloride. So when you treat with this, what happens that Cl and one corner hydrogen will eliminate as a molecule of HCl, and that CS3 group or this AR C6H5 group will add, so you will be getting acetophenone, benzophenone here then. If it is AR, that is C6H5 group, benzophenone you are going to get. If it is CS3 group, acetophenone you are going to get. That is how the ketones are going to be obtained. So these are some separate methods by which we can get the ketones there. Okay. So after knowing these methods of preparation of aldehydes and ketones, we are expected to know about the physical properties of these aldehydes and ketones then. Let's look into the physical properties of aldehydes and the ketones there. As far as the state is concerned, aldehydes, methanol will exist at room temperature in the gaseous form, ethanol exists in the liquid form, higher members will be existing in the solid form there. And in case of acetone exists in the ketones, acetone exists in the liquid form, higher members will be existing in the solid form, otherwise they will also be in the liquid form only there. Secondly, in the boiling point, very very important one. So comparison of boiling point values with that of the compounds with molar masses are given here there. So I had written this, changed it there. Molar mass is here, molar mass, and here I have written the temperature there. Butane, molar mass of butane is 58, and the boiling point of that is boiling temperature. It is boiling temperature in Kelvin, it is 273. It is methoxyethane molar, this one is boiling temperature is 281, molar mass is 60. Propanol aldehyde, it is 322 is its boiling temperature, boiling point, and molar mass is 58. Acetone 329, molar mass is 58. Propan 1-ol 370 and molar mass is 60 there. So all these compounds are having the comparable molar mass. Among these, it's an alcohol. Alcohol is having the higher value of boiling point there. Reason we have studied in the previous chapter that so alcohols undergoes this intermolecular hydrogen bonding little bit stronger. So that's the reason the values are higher there. In case of ketones, so values are hydrogen bonding forces, this interparticle forces are little better. So compared to aldehydes, you will have the little higher value of boiling points in case of ketones. Otherwise, so boiling point values of aldehydes are less compared to ketones and compared to alcohols there. And however, they are having the higher value of boiling point than this aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay, as per the solubility is concerned, lower members are soluble in water, acetone is soluble in water. So higher members are insoluble. So reactivity, as per the reactivity is concerned, it's another important thing here. As per the reactivity is concerned, so aldehydes are more reactive towards nucleophilic addition than the ketones, because one of the reasons is that so around the C double bond O group, there is only one R group, bulky R group, another side hydrogen. The steric hindrance will be less it is. And in case of this R group releases electron density to this one, decreases the electron density of carbonyl carbon. When this carbonyl carbon electron densities are shifted here, develops negative charge and this develops positive charge. R group is an electron releasing group, releases electron density to this one, little reduces the positive nature of this carbon. But in the case of ketones, what happens? First thing is, two alkyl groups are there, steric hindrance will be there, and another one is both alkyl group releases electron density to this middle carbon, carbonyl carbon, so that electropositive charge of the carbonyl carbon further decreases there. It's because of that reason nucleophilic addition reactions takes place faster in case of aldehydes than in case of these ketones there. So we'll be learning in the next part of this about the addition reactions of these aldehydes and ketones. Well, chemical reactions, with that we have the four types. One is nucleophilic addition reaction, reduction, oxidation, some miscellaneous reactions there. Let us see one by one. Nucleophilic addition reaction. So aldehydes and ketones acts across the double bond of the carbonyl group. So some nucleophile and addition of HCN, addition of sodium bisulfite alcohol takes place across the double bond to give the different compounds. For example, when you treat with aldehydes or ketone with hydrogen cyanide, HCN forms the compounds, addition compounds known as the cyanohydrines. These compounds are called as cyanohydrines. So similarly, when this aldehyde or ketone is treated with the sodium bisulfite, addition takes place across this bond there. So here addition takes place across this bond, so that this is slightly positive and this is slightly negative. So SCO3 part is negative, Na plus is positive. It will add here and it will add here, so that you are going to get an addition product. Then this undergoes rearrangement, so that Na will shift here and H will go here. Sodium salt of an acid is going to be formed there. Okay, addition product as addition product. So addition of alcohol also takes place like this, and this carbonyl group undergoes electromagnetic effect like this, develops slightly electronegative charge, develops slightly electropositive charge. So RO part is negative and H plus is positive, and H will add here, R will add here. Addition product you are going to get it there. Hemiastols will be getting there. So in addition to that, ammonia and its derivatives can be added there. Ammonia and its derivatives. Ammonia when react with aldehyde, these two hydrogen from this and oxygen from this eliminate a molecule of water and you will be getting imines there. RCH double bond NH compounds are known as imines. Similarly, when treated with amines when react with aldehydes or ketones forms the Gibbs bases. Two hydrogens of this NH2 group and oxygen eliminate a molecule of water and you will be getting Gibbs bases. Similarly, when treated with hydroxyl amine NH2OH, two hydrogen and oxygen will eliminate as a molecule of water forms this oxime. Hydrogen NH2NH2 when react with aldehydes or ketones forms this hydrogens. The compounds are known as hydrogens there. Similarly, phenyl hydrogen C6H5NH2 when react with aldehyde or ketones forms dinitrophenyl hydrogen. So phenyl hydrogen is going to be formed, and if you take two nitro group substituted one, then 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrogen is going to be formed, that is used for testing the presence of aldehydes and ketones. And another one is the Gibbs base. This what is this semicarbazide reaction with semicarbazide. So semicarbazide is this when react with this aldehyde or ketone form semicarbazides. Okay, so like this the adjacent products are going to be formed there. Okay, so in addition to that, so these aldehydes and ketones are going to form this reduction reaction there, undergoes reductions there. So aldehydes undergoes reduction to give this what is that alcohols, and alcohols on further reduction gives this alkanes there. There are two important reactions here as far as reductions are concerned. One is a Clemenson's reduction. During Clemenson's reduction, aldehyde or a ketone, you can take both R group or one R group, one H you can take, aldehyde or ketone, treat with a zinc amalgam in the acidic medium, forms a hydrocarbon. Similarly, Wolff-Kishner's reduction, same thing here also, take aldehyde or some ketone, treat with this KOH, ethylene glycol, okay, in the presence of heat it undergoes reduction to form a hydrocarbon there. So to get hydrocarbon from aldehydes and ketones, this Clemenson's reduction or Wolff-Kishner's reduction can be used there. Another one is the oxidation reaction. So oxidation reactions of aldehydes are very, very important one. Okay, aldehydes and oxidation gives, even with a mild oxidizing agent we will be getting their carboxylic acid, whereas ketones do not readily undergo oxidation with a mild oxidizing agent. However, with a strong oxidizing agent like concentrated HNO3, okay, forms their mixture of two carboxylic acid. Cleavage, if it takes place like that, RCOH and RCOH, you are going to get it like that. If it takes on the other side, this is going to convert into an acid, other side it will be another acid. Like that oxidation takes place there. Tollens reagent test is an important one. That is a test used to distinguish between these aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes gives Tollens reagent test and Fehling solution test there. What is that Tollens reagent test? You know that. Take the sample of aldehyde. To that you add this silver ammoniacal nitrate solution. Tollens reagent we call it there. Silver ammoniacal nitrate solution is called as a Tollens reagent. When you treat with the Tollens reagent, aldehyde undergoes oxidation to form a salt of an acid, and silver get reduces from that. Silver mirror is going to be formed along the inner side of the test tube if we carry out in the test tube there. That is, silver mirror is formed. That's the reason it's also called as a silver mirror test. Another one is the Fehling solution A and B. Take the sample of aldehyde. To that you add Fehling solution A and B. Okay. So Fehling solution A contain this copper ions and this B contain, that is a mixture of fumarate solution and other. So that will give us this hydroxide ion. So what happens, aldehydes will be converting into salt of an acid, and copper from that solution, copper ions from that solution get reduces and form Cu2O, that gives a reddish brown color precipitate. So that's how the aldehydes will be giving these two reactions there. Whereas ketones does not give these reaction. Tolerance reagent test they do not give. Fehling solution test they do not give. That's the reason these two tests can be used to distinguish between aldehydes and ketones. So, one more important oxidation reactions will be given by this aldehyde. Not all aldehyde, not all ketones. So some set of compounds will be giving this haloform reaction, iodoform reaction. Compounds which contain methyl ketone group. Methyl ketone group is CH3, C double bond O, like this is the methyl ketone group there. Acetaldehyde contain this group, acetone contain this group, all 2 ones will contain that group there, and even the alcohols, all 2 alls, which an oxidation gives 2 ones only, all those compounds will be giving this iodoform test there. So what is that iodoform test, that? Take the sample of compound which contain methyl ketone, and to that you add iodine and NaOH. Iodine and NaOH. When you add iodine and NaOH, yellow color precipitate of iodoform is going to be formed. CHI3 is going to be formed there. That CHI3 is nothing but iodoform. So how we will know, there yellow color precipitate is going to be formed there. So by which we will be in a position to know that whether the compound contain methyl ketone group or not. During that process, that methyl ketone group is going to be converted into salt of an acid. That's how that test can also be used to distinguish between the compounds which contain this methyl ketone group and other functional group there. Okay, so these are all the oxidation reactions of aldehydes and ketones. Well, let us see some more reactions, some miscellaneous reactions. Aldehydes and ketones give some miscellaneous reactions. What are those miscellaneous reactions? We shall see that. One is this aldol condensation. It is the condensation between 2 aldehydes which contain alpha hydrogens there. So alpha hydrogen means like this it is there. Functional group to which the next carbon which is attached to functional group is nothing but alpha carbon it is, to which the hydrogen atom are attached. So this hydrogen is what we call the alpha hydrogen there. So compounds which contain alpha hydrogen only give this condensation reaction. Acetaldehyde, for example, acetaldehyde, this is the functional group. These hydrogens are present. So acetaldehyde undergoes this aldol condensation when it is treated with this dilute NaOH. See what happens, the condensation takes place between this. You can see that this is also acetaldehyde, this is also acetaldehyde. Is one of the hydrogen atom migrate to this one. This undergoes electromagnetic effect, develops slightly negative charge, this develops slightly electropositive charge. So hydrogen of this is going to link to this, and CH2, this part is going to link to this carbon, so that you will be getting this compound there. Which on heating, what happens, that hydrogen of this, OH of this eliminate as a molecule of water, and condensation product you are going to get here. So I hope we will be in a position to name it. It's an aldehyde. Okay, build 2-ene al. One alone it is. That's how it is. So this condensation aldol condensation can also take place between the 2 different aldehydes, or one aldehyde and one ketone also. Between acetone and acetaldehyde it may take place there. So two different aldehydes, one is this acetaldehyde, another one is a propanaldehyde. So these two, between these two also cross condensation takes place there. So when these two molecules undergoes condensation in the presence of NaOH followed by heating, you will be getting this different products like this. So first 2 moles of this will give this product there. When 2 moles of this, when they react with each other, will be giving this product. Okay. Then 1 mole of this, 1 mole of this will give this product. First this molecule, then this molecule, when they involve in the bonding, so then you will be getting this product. So like that, you will be having the different condensation products here. So you can name this, slowly you can name this so that you will be in a position to okay, understand that. Okay, right. So Cannizzaro reaction. Cannizzaro reaction is another important reaction here. Here what happens, 2 moles of the aldehydes which do not contain alpha hydrogen there. Here aldol condensation is a condensation between the compound which contain, between the aldehydes or ketones which contain alpha hydrogen, but this does not contain alpha hydrogen. Look into this. This itself is a functional group. This is not alpha hydrogen. Alpha hydrogen is a hydrogen which is attached to alpha carbon. No alpha carbon at all. So therefore, in between these two there undergoes condensation it is, so that you are going to get this condensation product. So during this process what happens, there 2 moles will be undergoing what we call it as a disproportionation. Salt of an acid and alcohol you are going to get here. Both the oxidation and reduction will be taking place. Oxidation takes place, reduction also takes place to give this. Same way, benzaldehyde, 2 moles of benzaldehyde when undergoes this reaction, Cannizzaro reaction in the presence of a strong NaOH or strong KOH, you will be getting here alcohol and sodium or potassium salt of an acid. That's how the Cannizzaro reaction. So ring substitution reaction, it also gives the ring substitution.